Welcome to War and Untold Stories. Here, we explore the hidden side of history, the battles that shaped the world, the daring prison escapes that defied the odds, and the shocking crimes that history tried to forget. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and share your thoughts in the comments. From Hama to Marbella, from a Syrian diplomat's son to an infamous arms dealer. This is the story of Monzer al-Kassar, the man once known as the Prince of Marbella. Was he a cunning businessman, a political player, or simply a criminal mastermind? Let's delve into the tale of the man who lived life on the edge, always one step ahead. This is a story of power, wealth, intrigue, and crime. And now back to our story. Born into a prominent Syrian family in 1945, Al-Kassar's early life was far from the crime-ridden existence he would later embrace. His father, a diplomat, and his mother, a member of the influential Assad family, ensured that young Monzer received an education that many could only dream of. Fluent in multiple languages, including English, French, and Arabic, Al-Kassar was well versed in the art of negotiation, a skill that would later serve him well in his illicit ventures. His journey into the murky world of international crime began in the 1970s and 80s when he started trafficking drugs between Latin America and Europe. It was during this time that he honed his skills as a smuggler, learning the routes, the regulations, and most importantly, the loopholes that allowed him to stay one step ahead of the law. His exploits caught the attention of authorities in the United Kingdom, leading to his arrest in 1984 on drug charges. However, rather than face prosecution, he managed to convince the British government to grant him asylum, an act that raised eyebrows and sparked rumors of connections to the highest levels of power. With the UK chapter closed, al-Kassar set his sights on Spain, particularly the glamorous coastal town of Marbella. Here, amidst the luxurious resorts and the jet-set lifestyle, al-Kassar truly came into his own. The place became synonymous with his name, so much so that he earned the moniker the Prince of Marbella. But beneath the surface of this seemingly innocent seaside town, there was a darker narrative unfolding. A narrative where the lines between legality and criminality were blurred. In the 1980s and 90s, Marbella became a hub for international smugglers and criminals, attracted by its strategic location and lax regulations. Al-Kassar's network stretched far and wide, encompassing not just drug trafficking, but also arms dealing and money laundering. He dealt in weapons of all kinds, from small arms to surface-to-air missiles. One of his most infamous deals involved the hijacking of the Achille Lauro cruise ship in 1985. During the hijacking, al-Kassar reportedly supplied the terrorists with weapons and ammunition, showcasing his ability to operate on a grand scale and his willingness to align himself with the most notorious criminals. Another dark chapter in his story was his alleged involvement in the Iran-Contra affair. At the height of the Cold War, al-Kassar played a crucial role in supplying Iranian groups with arms. These were not just any weapons. They were American-made Stinger anti-aircraft missiles that proved to be a game-changer in the conflict between Iran and Iraq. As the Cold War thawed and the world entered a new era, al-Kassar's activities did not cease. He continued to thrive, amassing a fortune estimated to be in the billions. His wealth was as much a symbol of his success. It was a tool to maintain his lavish lifestyle and evade law enforcement. He owned multiple palaces, including one in Marbella that became the epicenter of his social life. There he hosted parties that were the talk of the town, attracting celebrities and politicians from around the world. His garages housed an array of luxury cars from brands like Ferrari and Mercedes, each representing not just wealth, but power and status. Yet as his legend grew, so did the scrutiny. By the late 2000s, law enforcement agencies, especially in the United States, had him in their sights. The Drug Enforcement Administration, or D, was particularly keen on bringing him down. They launched an undercover operation codenamed Legacy. The plan involved D agents posing as members of the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, or FARC, a notorious drug cartel. The agents reached out to al-Kassar, expressing interest in purchasing weapons, setting up a series of meetings that would eventually lead to the downfall of the elusive arms dealer. On June 26, 2007, the world watched as al-Kassar was arrested at Madrid's Barajas airport. The news sent shockwaves through the underworld and the upper echelons of society. How had they finally caught up with the elusive Prince of Marbella? The arrest came after years of meticulous work by the D, which involved not just infiltrating al-Kassar's inner circle, but also securing cooperation from various international agencies. It was a testament to the collaborative efforts of law enforcement that brought an end to the reign of the seemingly untouchable arms dealer. However, the road to justice was far from smooth. Al-Kassar fought tooth and nail to avoid extradition to the United States, citing health concerns and the lack of an extradition treaty between Spain and the U.S. But these arguments fell on deaf ears. Extradition proceedings began, and on November 13, 2008, Al-Kassar was extradited to the United States, marking a significant moment in the annals of international crime fighting. The trial that followed was nothing short of dramatic. Prosecutors painted a vivid picture of Al-Kassar as a ruthless criminal who had profited immensely from the misery of others. They presented evidence of his lavish lifestyle, his vast wealth, and his intricate network that spanned continents. The defense, however, argued that the D had entrapped Al-Kassar, suggesting that the undercover operation had coerced him into the crimes he was accused of. Despite the dramatic defense, the jury saw through the web of deceit. On November 20, 2008, the jury found Al-Kassar guilty on all counts, sealing his fate and confirming his status as a major player in the world of international crime. The sentencing was swift and severe. Al-Kassar was sentenced to 30 years in prison without the possibility of parole, a fitting punishment for a man who had evaded justice for decades. But even behind bars, Al-Kassar remained defiant. He continues to claim his innocence, insisting that he was a victim of circumstance and that the D had orchestrated his downfall. His lawyers have hinted at further appeals and legal challenges, keeping the possibility of Al-Kassar's release alive, albeit a slim one. As Monzer al-Kassar sits in a U.S. federal prison today, his story continues to captivate. Whether viewed as a brilliant strategist or a heartless criminal, his life and times remain a compelling narrative of power, wealth, and intrigue. His story raises important questions about the world of international crime and the lengths to which those involved will go to stay ahead of the law. It also underscores the complexities of the global arms trade and the ease with which deadly weapons can fall into the wrong hands. Furthermore, Al-Kassar's close ties to powerful individuals and his alleged connections to high-profile figures serve as a reminder of the pervasiveness of crime and corruption in seemingly respectable circles. But perhaps the most intriguing aspect of Al-Kassar's tale is his own narrative. Despite the overwhelming evidence against him, he maintains his innocence, painting himself as a victim of circumstance and a pawn in a larger geopolitical game. It leaves us wondering, is there more to the story than meets the eye? Or is Al-Kassar a master manipulator even in the face of his own demise? One thing is certain, the legacy of the Prince of Marbella will continue to be debated and dissected long after his name is cleared or his guilt is proven beyond doubt. In the end, the tale of Monzer al-Kassar is a cautionary one. It serves as a reminder that the allure of wealth and power often comes with a dark side. It's a reminder that behind the facade of luxury and extravagance, there can lurk some of the most sinister elements of society. And it's a reminder that the line between heroism and villainy can sometimes be as thin as the profit margin on an arms deal. Now tell me, what do you think about the story of Monzer al-Kassar? Do you believe that he was merely a product of his environment, or was he truly a mastermind criminal? Your thoughts matter, so drop them in the comments section below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more such captivating stories. And I'll see you next time. Until then, stay curious and keep asking questions.